Hello and welcome back to today's episode of 100 Days of Magic. I am your host of these mini trainings, Donna Woodwell, the proprietor of our Crossroads of Magic and Mastery and the headmistress of the School of Magic and Mastery. And my one definite chief aim, as they say, is to create a place where you can find all of the tools that you need to live a magical life. A life filled with passion and purpose, and also has the ability to co-create what you see and in your head and desire in your heart. So, hello, glad you're here. Today we are going to talk about the power of intention, or at least what intentions are. Hello, Claudia. Hello, Boris. You guys are always here first. It's so awesome. You're like me, setting an alarm to make sure that we are here, getting ready to do the work of making our lives more magical a little bit every day. Considering that magic is part understanding and training of how the pieces fit together, part experiencing it for yourself, and a lot habit that you have built over time to support your practice. Hence why we are talking about all these building blocks so that we can begin to bring them together, which we are doing in today's episode about intention. So, over the last couple days, we have talking about the elements that make up your reality bubble. The thoughts that you have floating through your head, narrating what's happening to you. You know what I mean, the monkey mind continuing to chatter. The emotions that you have sloshing around, giving depth and dimension to your experience. Emotions as ripples that come out from the judgments you make on those thoughts. And your physical sensations, what you are embodied and experiencing at a given point of time. All of these are the basic elements that are creating your own reality bubble. What then is an intention? All heard it said, you need an intention to make magic happen, because I know I've said it a million times, and I'm sure you've read other authors writing about magic, talking about what an intention is. A dictionary definition of an intention might call it something like your goal, or your direction, or your purpose, or your mission. Intentions can be lifelong goals, or they can be goals that have something, I'm going to do it this month, or this is my goal for the day, this is my goal for the hour. They don't have to be grand, glorious things, but they do have to have a sense of direction. I am here and I want to go this direction. So it's the directionality that sets an intention apart from other kinds of thoughts. The other thing that sets it apart is that an intention is not merely something that your monkey mind is jabbering about. So, sitting on your couch, daydreaming about, what should I watch on television, or maybe I need some popcorn, or where exactly is the dog? And, ooh, it's awfully quiet around here, something must be wrong. All those things, those are not intentions. What makes an intention is the sense, the thing that gets you moving into action. When the vague thought about popcorn turns into you getting up off the couch and making yourself popcorn, or you convincing someone else to get up off the couch and make popcorn for you, that's when it crosses over from thought to intention. So intention is something deeper. It's something that that bridges the gap between the different areas of your experience in order to create action to happen. So you can think about it this way. Intentions occur if all of this noise down here, all this three-dimensional heavy stuff is the base, and your talking minds are bubbling, and your emotions are whooshing here and there, and your body is having I feel this, I feel that. So there's a lot of change. You can think of it as like the bubbling foam of our existence. And that's just the surface of a much deeper subconscious well of experience. It's just the stuff that we happen to be aware of in the moment. All that stuff under the surface. Our intentions cross through these dimensions. They come from someplace deeper, or higher if you prefer, slice through and align with our emotions and our thoughts and our body, all the way down into the subconscious layer of ourselves. And because they're bridging the gaps between these dimensions, they act as the guide wires or the anchor points for things to actually manifest in a three-dimensional world. So I got some show and tell, except that I'm coughing, so hold on. All right, so you've probably seen these basic tools of witchcraft. We have our cauldron, and we have our athame or athame, depending on how people say it. When you see these, yes, it is a description of the masculine and feminine polarities, but it's also a model of what an intention is. This is the physical stuff, the thoughts that we have in our heads, the emotions that we are experiencing, our physical bodies. This is the laser of intention that interpenetrates and fertilizes the physical, three-dimensional, bubbly experience that we have and serves as the guide wire for making things happen. So consider this the next time you're setting intentions for yourself. If you're creating an intention and there's a whole bunch of noise, like your intention is, oh, I should be doing something, and yet there's this, but I don't want to, maybe I'm not supposed to, there's all this chatter going on. Your intention suddenly isn't something that can easily manifest. It's constantly being tugged here, there, and everywhere. An intention should be clear. This is what I'm going to do, followed up by doing an action to make it happen in order to train your whole psychic experience to understand how to make things manifest. Now, it is a fact of life that for most people who have had no kind of mental training, our thoughts and our emotions and our physical sensations are constantly spraying about, kind of like a sprinkler system, here, there, and everywhere. And a sprinkler system is fine for watering the grass. But an intention is much more like a laser that is clear, definite, what Napoleon Hill called a definite chief aim, that encourages a thing to manifest. Okay? Hence why it's always important to exercise our ability to intend things in the world if we want to live more consciously, because it makes us aware of what we are doing and how we are manifesting it. But it's doubly important when you are desiring to make magic. Because making magic implies that you are building a new pathway from some idea you have in your head into manifesting something physical. Most people, let's say, I love my car. I drive it around, my little Honda Fit. I'm not going to do magic for my car unless it's broken. I'm not going to do magic for a car unless I want to get a new one. People don't cast magical spells for something for some state, something that they already possess. We create magic when we want to add something to our experience. We want to shift our experience. We want to shape our experience. And since we're bringing in something new, in order to bridge the gap from that ideal sense down into the physical, the intention is the guide wire that you use to make that connection, to build the scaffolding around which all other magic is used to reinforce. So people ask all the time, well, I want to make magic in my life, but do I really have to light candles and have appropriate astrological timing and get the right colors and everything else? And the answer is, as you probably know for yourself, no, it is not absolutely required. But it is absolutely required to have intention. It's not magic if there is no intention. All the other stuff that we do, all of the spells and the rituals, can help boost the efficacy of our intentions. They make them more real, they make them more manifest, they help us nurture them, obsess over them a little bit in order to pull that energy down. But if the intention is clear enough, that can be enough to manifest new things on its own. All right, so hopefully after this little discussion about intentions, you understand the difference between just a random thought in your head passing by like little leaves and what an intention is. So you begin to realize secondarily, sitting there and just, hey, I want this, isn't enough. It's not enough oomph by itself. Sometimes when people start doing magic, they get afraid of their thoughts altogether. Oh, I imagine that a demon was going to come and manifest. Now I'm in trouble. And so they start panicking. Well, that thought by itself is not an intention. That was just a random stray noise bit. It's not unless you start feeding it and cultivating it and nurturing it and making it really clear that things have the potential to manifest. All right? Along similar lines, intentions don't have to take forever to form. You don't need to sit there and repeat something over and over to yourself like a mantra. It can help, but an intention that's super clear can be instantaneous and felt on all levels. Spirit, mind, emotion, body, and down into your subconscious. If it's really clear like a laser, that's all it takes. It doesn't need to be repeated and smudgy. It needs to be clear more than anything else. Okay? So tomorrow we're going to talk more about examples of intentions that work and ones that are less effective. And we'll talk about why, because this is such a crucial part in understanding when we are building our magic spells, whether they're magic to manifest things or they are magic to help us connect to something deeper within ourselves, to find enlightenment or whatever else we're doing magic for. They all revolve around that sense of intention and how you can create your own that can create change, a process of change to start in your own world. So before I go, anybody have any questions about intentions? While you guys are talking, coming up with questions. Once again, thank you for tuning in to these sessions. This group, the Crossroads of Magic and Mastery, is completely public. So anything that is posted here has the capacity to be lifted up and shared somewhere else. I highly encourage anybody who is a content creator and wants to get your stuff out into the world, feel free to use this space. I know a lot of groups prevent people from sharing their work because they consider it advertising and they don't want to take over from the group. I highly recommend that you use this group for advertising. That is what it was built for. So I don't mean advertising for, your window dressing company. I mean anything that's magical. Selling your tarot card decks, your magical potions, sharing any links to books that you have put together, anything, all your blog posts, all of that is totally fair game. The only thing that you can't post is advertisements for one-on-one consultations, simply because A, there's way too many people here in this group that do one-on-one consultations, and B, we don't want to be responsible for all the complications that come on one-on-one things. It's different when you're selling your books. It's a whole different when people are getting personally involved with one another. So no reading applications, but everything else is just about fine as long as it fosters our ability to explore our magical world. Okay? And I don't see that we have any questions today. So as I said, I am Donna Woodwell. I'm happy to be your guide on this magical adventure. Tomorrow we're going to be coming back and talking about why certain intentions work and other intentions not so much, so that you can use this to apply to your own practice of setting intentions for yourself. Okay? So until the next time, I look forward to continuing our conversation in 100 Days of Magic. Take care, everyone.